Hi everyone, welcome to another security tutorial. Now I've been getting a lot of questions and seeing a lot of messages in the Telegram chats about restoring Metamask seed phrases onto a hardware device. And I already have done videos on doing this on a Trezor device, which in my personal opinion is the preferred device. But there is a lot of people that have either purchased a ledger or have an existing ledger and would like to import their seed phrase from Metamask onto the ledger device. And the reason why they do that, specifically with Hex, is your stakes, once staked, are linked to the address that was generated with your seed. So the only way to secure your stakes that have been made with a Metamask seed is to import that Metamask seed onto a hardware device. Now, it's not the perfect solution. It means that at some point in time the seed has been on a computer. Not great, but we're in sort of a triage mode here where we're trying to make the best of a bad situation and improve our security the best we can, given that we now understand the importance of looking after our seeds and keeping them offline. So this video is going to have a little bit of a chat about how we do this on the ledger and speak about a few of the pros and cons that are involved when doing this. Okay, so let's jump straight into this and see how it actually works, and I'll run through a live demonstration so you can see me doing it, and we'll talk about some of the shortfalls of this and what it is we need to be aware of. Like I said, all the issues that we're about to discuss, they're avoided if you use a Trezor device, but hey, this video is about using a ledger, so let's motor on. Alright, so let's have a quick look what I've got here. First of all, I have a Metamask account installed, and you can see I've got it connected to the Ropsten test network, and I've got 3 accounts, and I've loaded each of those accounts with some test Ethereum. So I've just gone to a faucet to get some funds sent to these accounts for testing purposes. So we've got 3 accounts, all with individual addresses, which look like this here. So let me just highlight these if I can. So each of these accounts, and let's have a look and I'll show you. So the first account ends in 3CFB, which is this first address. Let's jump to the second account, ends in D627, and the third account ends in 1D60, which is this account here. Alright, so when we take our seed from Metamask and move it to a hardware device, ideally we would like to be able to see those 3 addresses, particularly if we've got stakes on them. Now the issue with the Ledger device is when we import the Metamask seed, that's not actually what happens. Okay, and we'll have a quick chat about the derivation paths, and then we'll go through an example of how this works. So the Metamask software uses this path to reference Ethereum addresses. So this is the actual reference path for this first address, reference path here for the second address, and the reference path here for the third address. Now the problem comes about where Ledger Live references it a different way. So the Ledger native way of deriving the addresses, and then the Ledger's what they call legacy mu path is also different. So mu being my Ether wallet. So the way this references an address is the same as this. So when we import our seed into the ledger, we do actually see the correct first address. But then the second address is referenced differently. You can see the address path changes. So we actually see a different address. Okay, and the same with the third. It's starting to reference the addresses differently. So we can no longer see these two, or in fact any other address after the first one. So what that looks like when we're importing our addresses into, or linking our hardware wallet, I should say, connecting our hardware wallet to Metamask, is that we're presented with these two options when we connect our Ledger device. So the Ledger Live path, which references these addresses, or the legacy mu path, which references these addresses. So we can't, by default, see any subsequent addresses if we import our original Metamask seed into the Ledger. There is a way around this, and that's what we're going to cover off today as well. So we'll run through, now that you understand what the issue is, we'll run through how you go about doing this process anyway, should you wish to do it, and then ultimately how you can still access these addresses, these second and third addresses, when you need to. Okay, so let's roll with that, and we'll go through from a practical example. So first of all, what do we need to do? Well, if we want to take our seed from our original Metamask account, we need to first of all reveal that seed, which is under security and privacy here, and we'll reveal the seed phrase and pop in our password. So you can see our seed phrase is this here, and I've made a copy of that up here. So this is our seed phrase from our original Metamask wallet. So the wallet where you've probably done some stakes from that you're trying to protect. Now it goes without saying, don't go putting this seed phrase on a Word document like this. I'm simply doing this for testing purposes. You should be writing this down offline. From this point on, this seed should never ever touch your computer again. That's the whole purpose of doing what you're doing. All right, so we've copied down our seed phrase. Cool. Next, we need to go through the process of importing this seed phrase into our Ledger device. So let's go through and we'll do that now. Bear with me a second and I'll bring up another window here. Okay, so bear with me, I'll see if I can get this in focus for us, but we've got a Ledger. It's in its factory default mode, so ready for a restore or creating of a new wallet. So let me go through and so we want to restore, hopefully you can see that, restore from a recovery phase. So we select that, and first of all we need to choose a pin. So let's see, I'll just put in a basic pin here. Okay, and we're going to confirm that. Okay, now this is important, this bit. So we need to choose how many words we're going to recover with. And in our case, we've got 12 words that we need to use. So we've selected the 12 word. Okay, hopefully you can see that there. Okay, all right, now we need to start entering our words. So I'll start doing this, and I might just have to go quiet for a little bit so I can get this done in a hurry, so bear with me for a moment. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here because no one needs to endure this sort of pain in a tutorial. So I'll come back in a moment once I've finished entering the 12 words, but you get the picture. Okay, and we're just up to the 12th word here. So we'll pop that in. Okay, so you can see the device is just processing that seed phrase that we've put in and taking a little while to do that. Okay, and it's saying the device is now ready. So if you've never used a Ledger device before we can actually do anything on the Ethereum network, we need to install the app on the device. Okay, so you can see by default it does not have any apps on there, so just bear with me. I'm just going to install the Ethereum app on the Ledger device. So we just need to install the Ethereum app on the device. So we do that by allowing the device manager and using Ledger Live, and that fires up the Ledger Live software, and then we'll just come across here and install Ethereum application. So you'll see that it's just going through the process of installing that onto the device. Okay, done. So you can see the Ethereum app is now, hopefully you can see that, is now on the device. We're going to actually open up the Ethereum app and it'll say application is ready. Now there's something really important you need to do to interact with smart contracts, and that is go into the settings of the Ethereum app, and where it says contract data not allowed, we actually need to enable that to allowed. Okay, debug data, we can leave that to not displayed, and we'll just go back. Cool. So now that we've got the Ethereum app installed and we have the contract data enabled, we'll be able to use this to connect to Metamask. So bear with me and I'll just get that back online so we can see that. All right, so we've now got our hardware device ready to roll. We now need to create a whole new instance of Metamask so that we can start interacting with our new Ledger device with the seed phrase on it. Now there's a particular way I like to do that, and I'll show you. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a whole new instance of Chrome. So I've kept the original version of Chrome running in the background, and it has the original Metamask with the original seed phrase on it, because we don't want to destroy that yet until we've tested all of this. So I've fired up a new profile, just created a new profile under Chrome here called Restored. So if you just click on that button, that will enable you to create as many profiles as you like. And what that means is we can install Metamask in this new profile, and it's a default install. So by default means it has no settings. So no seed has been created on this new wallet yet. So we're basically running up two versions of Metamask, one with which has the seed in it that we were originally using, and a blank one, which I like to call a burner wallet. So we're never ever going to store funds on it. So as you can see, we're creating a whole brand new one from scratch. Just clear up a few of these windows. So we go, let's get started. And we would create a whole new wallet. and we'll agree to that. And this, always good to put a good password on it, but it's less important now because we're not storing any funds in this account. So we'll just add a quick one in and agree to this and create the wallet. Now, we're never ever going to store funds on this burner version of Metamask, but I still like to create a backup of the seed phrase just in case. You just never know what can go wrong. So in this instance, just for the purpose of this exercise, I'll just quickly grab these. We're never ever going to use them, but I think it's good practice to always back them up. So we'll just save these up here so we have them. That way if we ever do need them, they are there. And we'll go next, and now we've just got to finish this process. Where are we in blind devote? Okay, so we're just confirming that we've set up the Metamask, and look, I'm sure you've done this previously if you've already installed Metamask before, but I do like to make sure we do back up the seed phrase, and I like to have that stored on a password manager just so you've got it there in case you need it. So cool, all done. All right, we'll just get rid of that for now. So what we've got is a fresh install of Metamask. So it's generated one account. So remember, our original one had 3 accounts where we'd potentially done our staking on. This one just got account 1, and we're never ever going to use account 1 because now we've got our Ledger device, and that's what we want to be doing. So let's hook in with our Ledger device. Okay, and we'll just give that a little push to get it connecting. And this is where we'll find our little issue we've got. Okay, cool, still connecting through, just, it takes a little bit, let's go again. Okay, all right, so, and this is where we get to the original problem I showed you before where, so these are our 3 original addresses, 3CFB, which we can see here, but then we get stuck where we can't see our second or third address. Okay, so that's a problem for us. If we select the Ledger Live path, this is what we see: 3CFB, 472E, 90CC. Right, so these are the derivation paths the software is using. If we change it to this one, and we'll let that come in again, we're now seeing 9994, 7429, and 7D98. Once again, we don't use any of these. At least in this first option, we can see the first address. So if you've only used one address in your MetaMask wallet, great, that's perfect for you. You can reinstall it, import your seed, and you'll have access to this address here, and then subsequent stakes, you could in fact use these second and third addresses and you would be totally fine. That would be a perfect way for you to do things. The gotcha is if you already have used accounts 2 and 3, so these second and third addresses in the original Metamask, then you're kind of stuck at this point in time. All right, so we can't actually use Metamask to interact with the HEX contract on this second and third address, which is a bit of a pain for us because Metamask does make life pretty easy, and it means we can connect to all the other little tools and things out there in the marketplace as well using our second and third address. So, but like I said, if you've only used the first address, this is still a really valid approach, and then you can start using the second and third addresses, these second and third addresses here for other stakes and for connecting to other services. So that's totally cool. All right, so how do we get around the issue if we've only got a ledger, so we've imported our MetaMask seed into our ledger, and at the moment we can only see this first address, so any stakes that we have on this second or third address we can't interact with at the moment through this. Okay, and we're lucky in the Hex community, we've got some really great developers on board, and one of them has created a website called HardHex. And what this enables you to do is connect directly with your ledger through USB or Bluetooth if you have a supporting device. So through USB, and then be able to interact with all these other addresses. Okay, and you can do some basic things like staking and unstaking and the like. So let's have a quick look at how that actually looks. So we can connect through USB, and we just select this unknown device, which is our ledger, and it's bringing up all our addresses. But what we can notice is, yeah, the first address is correct. So this is our first address, but the second one, 472E, well, that's not the correct one. That's in fact this one down here. And the third one, 90C, C is this one. So by default, it's not showing the addresses that we need it to show. However, we know that these are our derivation paths, so we can actually copy this and use a custom path over here. So we can paste our custom path in here and go OK. And what have we got here? D627, correct. So it is our second address. So we can have a look here. It's just going off and checking for our balances here. Why is that saying connection not open on send? Let's have a look. Got a little bit of a glitch there for some reason. Okay, I'm not sure why that's doing that. We may just have to refresh this. Oh, I think I know what it is. Let's just close this down. It's probably holding it open. And we might just give that a refresh. Okay, that's better. So I had the ledger connected through Metamask, and it was just giving me a little bit of an error because it couldn't have two channels open at once. But now you can see we've got D627, which is our second address, and we can start stake, end stake, good accounting. So do all the basic things that we need to do on the Hex smart contract. Now it doesn't look as nice as the go.hex.com site, because it's obviously this is geared up just as a secondary interface, but hey, it lets us interact with those second and third addresses that we may not be able to otherwise. So that's a really, really good thing. So kudos to the Hex community member, which I'm sorry, I don't know who actually produced this site, but yeah, really good alternative for doing things on the Hex contract when you can't use the primary hex.com, go.hex.com website. Okay, so we're almost there. So we've taken our old seed from Metamask, we've imported it into the ledger. We now understand the issue we have with the derivation paths, and we've been able to have a workaround. So if we do need to access our second or third addresses, we can actually do that. And like I said, if it's only the first address you've used, totally cool. Then you can just start recreating stakes on these other two addresses, and that's fine. That would be perfectly cool. All right, now the other important thing to do at this point in time, okay, so we've confirmed that we can get access to the ledger and the addresses on it via either Metamask or HardHex or apex.win. Now we need to clean up our system and get rid of this original Metamask account. Okay, because we're trying to remove all trace of this whatsoever. And the easiest way to do it, and then we'll go and confirm that we have actually done that correctly, is it's as simple as just uninstalling this. So we no longer need this anymore. We can get rid of this. So it is just a matter of removing from Chrome. And that will go through and delete the wallet. And then I'll actually show you where the path of the extensions are stored so you can go and double check. So just bear with me 1 second and I'll bring that up. Okay, so this is a bit of a long-winded path, but essentially all your Chrome extensions are stored under your computer's user profile. This is obviously for a Windows machine, could be different on a Mac. That's something you would have to check. But essentially you go down to your user profile, app data, local, Google, Chrome, user data, then the profile. So you may have one profile, you may have more than one, and we actually created a new profile as part of this process to restore our MetaMask to. Under extensions, and then this long series of characters here references the code for the MetaMask extension. So if you're not sure where to find that, just go to the Google Extensions Manager and you can see what the actual path or name of this reference is for each extension. And then you've got the version of the extension. So pretty much if you were to wipe out this directory here, this would be anything to do with the MetaMask directory for that particular profile. Now, this is not for the profile I've just shown you where I've deleted that. I just needed to show you another profile where I have MetaMask installed for that purpose. So if you find that you do the uninstall or the remove extension and then you browse through and you still find you have this in the profile in question, then feel free to delete that as well, and that will get rid of any traces of the MetaMask wallet for that user profile under that Chrome profile. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, look, that's pretty much it. There's not too much more to go into regarding this. It's pretty straightforward process. The main thing is, as long as you've got your seed phrases backed up, so written down correctly, you can't do too much wrong. Worst case scenario, if you inadvertently deleted the wrong MetaMask extension or something like that, as long as you know you have the seed phrase written down correctly, you can restore all this back to how it was. So obviously my suggestion is don't destroy anything until you've got it all on the ledger and you've confirmed that you can interact with the Hex smart contract and see your stakes and things like that before you go deleting everything. That would be a pretty sad story if you inadvertently didn't take the seed down correctly and then destroyed all your stakes. So please be very careful doing this. But like I said, once you've got the seed written down, it's not that it's not a big issue. It's very easy to recover these sorts of things if you've got the seed correct. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Hopefully that's been helpful. I'll just leave this up here as well. This is essentially the process I went through. So backing up the seed phrase in MetaMask, so you should already have that, but double check. Make a note of every address and the balances on each of those accounts. It's exactly what I've done here. So I've made a note of each address and the balances that was on each of those addresses. So initialize your ledger with a new PIN, select restore device using 12 seed words, input the 12 seed words, install the Ethereum app using Ledger Live, make sure enable contract data or you won't be able to interact with the Hex smart contract, create a new Chrome profile for testing your setup. Okay, then install the MetaMask plugin and create a new burner wallet. Back up that seed as well, just in case. So save the seed, but understand you're not storing funds on it, so it's not critical. Then connect the ledger to the MetaMask burner account. And just understand the derivation paths and addresses that we've talked about here. And if you want to play a little bit more with that, you can visit this site that Ian Coleman has, which I believe is here. And this allows you to put in the seed phrase. So in this instance, the one that we were testing, I think that's this one here. So we put that in, and that was how I was able to capture all of these derivation paths and show them to you. So I used this tool to input the seed phrase, and then we had a look, and I was playing with custom derivation paths down here so that we could produce the addresses that we needed to. So by all means, if you feel that way inclined, have a little play with this tool here. It's pretty cool, and you might actually learn a lot about the way Ethereum and hardware wallets work, and the wallets in general work, how they derive all the addresses. So it's a worthwhile exercise to go through if you're that way inclined. All right, I think that's it for this video. Hopefully that's been useful. I know there's been a lot of people in the community asking about this, so I thought it was about time we got a good video up and some good information out there for everyone so they understand exactly what this is all about. That's it for me for now. I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.